There's a specific notation for antiderivatives. For any function that I'm just going to call f. The general antiderivative is, so here's the notation for the general antiderivative. It's sort of an elongated s with the name of the function, f of x in this case, and then there's a little symbol dx. We'll talk later about what that means, but you can sort of envision the elongated s and the dx as being almost like parentheses enclosing the f of x, but they're parentheses indicating that we're talking about the general antiderivative of little f of x. And as we just saw, that's going to be equal to an antiderivative of little f plus a constant. So this is where capital F of x is any antiderivative of little f of x, and c is a constant. Now, our approach in the previous example was to ask ourselves, what would I have to differentiate to get this function? Because that's what you're asking yourself when you're asking for an antiderivative. What function would I differentiate to get this function? Well, you don't want to have to sit there kind of thinking about things backwards and saying, what would I have to differentiate to get this? What you want to do is memorize a bunch of antiderivative formulas. And I'm sorry this is more stuff to memorize, but we're going to spend a fair amount of time in the next chapter finding antiderivatives, and it's not nearly as easy as finding derivatives. There's no one technique that works. There's a whole grab bag of techniques that we're going to have to learn. And so, in the middle of doing all that, you don't want to have to sit there saying, what would I differentiate to get this function? You want to memorize a list of formulas.